So, yeah. What was it? Was it last Tuesday? I played Shadow War Armageddon. Played 3 games, and I thought I'll take some pictures, do a bit of an after action report, maybe even have a little bit of a rant about what I think of the game. Turns out my camera didn't have any batteries, so there was no pictures. But all is not lost, because I can chatter on about the games and what I thought. So, Every Cloud, eh? Every Cloud. Played 3 games over the course of it. Well, I did. I think maybe my brother and his friend played maybe one more, but anyway. I played Genestealer Cult, Grenade Launcher, Flamer, Heavy Stubber, a few cultists, and my leader, Dr. Wu. My brother played Tau Pathfinders, and our friend played Scouts, and he went down the route of a lot of snipers in his. But so the first game we played, damned if I can remember the name of the scenario, but it's the one where you spread Promethium counters out, and you have to basically take one and run off the board. So it was a good game, lots of fun. It's meant for like 2 players versus each other, but because there's 3 of us, we just said the 3 of us can play. Deployment. My brother on one side of the table, me on the other, and the friend was on that end. I deployed quite aggressively next to the scout gang because I could see where that gang was headed. Yeah, and the scouts were kind of spread out along their table edge, and my brother was spread out along his. So what happened? Well, my heavy was kind of caught out of position throughout the whole game, really. So he didn't have anything to shoot. So I just gave him a Promethium cache and sent him off the board. My leader, Dr. Wu, missed his first turn because he had to. There's the table. You roll to see who's attacked by a monster, and because he was attacked, he lost his first turn. So he didn't really do an awful lot, but I did send him into the middle to collect another Promethium cache. All the while, the towers are advancing this way, taking pot shots. But the main bit of the action happened on my friend's side of the table, because I deployed like a flamer and a grenade launcher and a few guys there, and he had 2 guys on the bottom and like 2 guys on the front and top, and the guys at the top for the most part took some fire from my brother's Tau. I think the first thing my grenade launcher did was dunk a grenade straight onto one of the snipers, which was I think that downed him. But after that, I managed to get my flamer to flame. No, after that, the grenade launcher came down off the little building he was on, got charged by one of the friend's scouts. And the scout won. That was a multiple combat, and the scout won. But then the flamer came in good, flamed those, downed them, and one of my other guys ran off to collect a Promethium cache. That's all over the course of a couple of turns. The towers are getting a lot closer, and I don't really want to be caught in the middle of a scout and Tau sandwich. So I got the Promethium caches and beetled off, really. No, actually, I bottled out because yeah, the Tau gang hadn't taken any casualties because me and the scouts were brutalizing each other. So I had a few guys out of action at that stage, so I voluntarily bottled because I didn't feel like getting completely mullered. So Towers won that one. Then I think there was a rescue mission which I didn't take part in, and then we played two on the trot, two ambush missions, and one, the towers were being ambushed in one, and I was being ambushed in the other, and yeah, it went all right. The towers did all right in their ambush. I mean, things went kind of badly for me because by that time the scouts had an awful lot of sniper rifles, and they all had toxic rounds, which means you know how a flamethrower doesn't need to roll to hit? Well, toxic rounds means that a sniper rifle doesn't need to roll to wound. So it's a bit good. It's a bit good. So I tried to sort of hide them away, but he'd taken a liking to the Terminators, and you'll find out why if you ever play the game. So he'd hired one of those, and basically I hid most of my gang. Some of my gang I couldn't hide, and they got picked off, and it was, yeah, madness. But hid most of my gang, waiting for this Terminator, and I had what was it? Grenade launcher, a gene stealer, a mining laser, and I'm waiting inside this building, waiting for this Terminator to charge, and he finally comes in, and wouldn't you know, my mining laser misses. Isn't that typical, eh? And yeah, gang pretty much shoots at him, and eventually he just takes them all out. He gets into combat with the gene stealer, and it's kind of interesting, really. The gene stealer was winning the combats consistently, but because of the Terminator save, he just couldn't get through it. And I think the one time he did, he caused a flesh wound. And at that point, I think it was getting a bit late, so we drew a line under the game there. I think I'd bottled out. But yeah, if that had gone on, the Terminator would have won that, because you know the Terminator only needs to get, with a power fist, only needs to get lucky once. You know, the Gene Stealer needs to win those combats each and every time. After that, my gang was a bit messed up, so I decided I'd disband them and rehire back Dr. Wu, because you can do that. You know, it's really nice. It's meant to be sort of like, if you get the spirit of that part of it is, if you get attached to a character, really cool stories behind them, you can keep hiring them back so you can continue their legacy, or their legend, if you will. But also, if you're being, I don't know, a bit, what's the word? Creative, maybe? You could use the rules for buying back an old gang member to create a new guy completely leveled up, because I think it's like 25 points, 25 creds per skill, and 15 per stat increase. So like there, they've given you a way to sort of pay for levels if you wanted, and if it's the done thing, you know, between you and your friends, if that's the done thing, then fair enough. But so yeah, had a bit of fun. It was good. The Scouts, my word, that was a good kill team. The Terminators, I've probably mentioned this before, but Terminators get 2d6, add them together, and they need a 3 or more. That's their save. So they only fail on a double 1. And if you've got any armor modifiers on your weapons, then they've got an invulnerable save of it's exactly the same, but it's, instead of 3+, it's 5+. And the way invulnerable saves work is you have to choose to take it. So I imagine, you know, if there's so many weapon armor modifiers on a particular weapon, you just say, okay, I'll take the invulnerable save, and it's going to be a 5+ whatever. But yeah, that Terminator was a really, really difficult to deal with. And what I'm thinking is, I've seen some battle reports, and I think the way Shadow War is kind of going to pan out in the long term is and this will be different to Necromunda, is that there's going to be builds. There isn't going to be sort of like, I'm going to create my gang. Well, not so much I'm going to create my gang and it's going to be really unique right from the start. It's going to be, this is the sort of optimum way to build a scout list or whatever. This is what you need in your list. And that's fair enough, but it's, going with the eyes wide open, isn't it? Because using the scout gang as an example, sniper scouts, as they are really effective. As they are, they're really good shots. So BS4 for the normal sniper. Now you can add in their dot sights and photo visors and stuff to give them all the +1s you could want. Add in toxic rounds, so there's now no longer any need to alter wound at all, and they suddenly become super effective units. Their move or fire, but if you position them right, then they can really be super efficient at what they do. And the Terminator is super efficient at being just a tank, So the two of them combined makes for a really, really difficult build to counter. Listen to me. Sound bloody expert, don't I? Because the snipers cover the majority of the open ground. The Terminator can go in there and get whoever it is hiding from the snipers. So I didn't really have a counter to that. And I suppose it's like a fighting game, when you've got that one move that your friend doesn't know how to counter, you use it and you use it and use it, and that's what you do until they figure out a counter to it. That's what you do. So I didn't have a counter to that combo. I couldn't outshoot them, couldn't outmaneuver them nearly. So the games kind of went the same way, But yeah, it's strange really, because the balance between the gangs is a lot different, and highlighted by that last example. Some gangs will do majority melee or fighting. Some gangs will do majority shooting. And examples of those two would be Dark Eldar and Tau. And some gangs just do a bit of both. And yeah, so the balance between them is, between the gangs themselves, is different. It's not so much that it's unbalanced or off or even unfair. It's just, I haven't quite figured it out yet. I mean, for all I know, it might be unfair. There might be power gangs out there, but then again, to be honest, that was never the point, was it? If you're playing Necromunda, well, never to point to me anyway. Play it for the love, isn't it? But yeah, and the power of the gangs internally, there seems to be some unbalance there too, because there's the Genestealer and the Terminator as the hired guns. You can get other hired guns for the Space Marines and the Genestealer cult, but I can't think why you'd take them. Because the Genestealer cult, you can get a Metamorph and a Hybrid, and they just don't seem to be as good as the Genestealer, And likewise, when the Terminator is that survivable, like, what do the other Space Marine things have to offer that would make you think, oh yeah, I'll take a Death Watch, or I'll take a veteran, or something this time around, you know? So the balance between the gangs internally and externally is a little bit, I don't know. Well, it's the balance is beyond my understanding, because I don't want to be screaming, "Oh my god, it's unbalanced," because the game's only just come out, bit early days for that. And plus, that's a bit of a bad sportsman thing to do. But I guess I'm comparing it to Necromunda, and because I had it in my mind, just going to be like Necromunda, isn't it? Because I'm comparing it to Necromunda, the difference is quite stark. Because with Necromunda, the gangs had different flavors, and they had the potential to go in different directions, and that's when the flavor really sunk in of your particular gang. But at the outset, they were pretty much of a muchness, A ganger is a ganger is a ganger, And the gangs had different weapon lists, but again, there wasn't really much in it. Pretty much everyone could have shotguns or auto guns and stuff. So the killing power of each gang, well, this is like for like now. A new starting gang with a new starting gang is pretty much on an even keel, pretty much at the same level. Now, whether you've got Van Saar and you get loads of tech skills so you never fail, ammo rolls or whatever, or you've got needle sniper rifles or whatever, that's just part of it, I guess. That can come on later down the road, but there was never. But even if there was one gang who was massively outclassing you, there was a giant killer bonus in Necromunda, so you get bonuses to experience and I think and money and creds. I think so. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? To hell with it. I think the balance is better than Necromunda than it is in Shadow War. But that's not to say that the balance is bad in Shadow War. It's just an awful lot different from what I'm used to, really. And anyway, I'm sure I'll figure out something. One thing I did figure out is I'm not so keen on heavy weapons. The move and fire, not so keen on that. So when I redid my Genestealer Cult, I brought in more specialist weapons. So I think that's going to be more fun. Because, to be honest, I like specialist weapons better. But the Tau, and is there anything really to talk about? I think there's going to be some factions in it that are definitely finesse factions, Like the Tau strike me as one of those. They could be really good at shooting, but you'd have to have a plan. To be honest, I think you're going to have more of a plan when you're playing in general, but you'd really have to have a plan with the Taus, because their team sort of relies on each other more. That's the way it seems, than others. But yeah, that's the games. Hopefully going to get some more games. I'm making up a Skitarii kill team at the moment, which will be a good fun. I might make an Imperial Guard kill team, and of course I've got my Genestealer Cult and my Orlok kill team gang, whichever you prefer. But that's the problem with this game. It's just like, oh, I could make that kill team and that kill team and have a kill team of everything. But yeah. Ooh, almost 20 minutes. You've got your money's worth, haven't you, eh? You know what? If you've played Necromunda or Shadow War, I'd be fascinated to to hear your thoughts on it, you know. So make a video, leave a comment, or don't, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I'm fascinated to hear what you think and what gangs you played and everything. Anyway, I think I'll leave that there. So look after yourself, eh?